Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Chandrika and this is Rika Life. Alright, you may be noticing something new on me. This is my very own cardigan. After making so many for my daughter and her friends, I have finally made one for myself. And I will pop up some pictures here of me wearing it, but you can see the two sides are not exactly alike, which is fine. And you can see the back in the picture as well. I made this out of Line Brand Mandala bonus bundle in the color Giant, and I used one cake. I say one cake because I used this much of a second cake and I had this much left of my first cake. So this is a hexagon cardigan that I made, and I'll just tell you about the yarn that I used. So I used Mandala bonus bundle in the color Giant. It is 1,181 yards or 1,080 meters, 10.5 ounces, 300 grams. It's machine washable and dryable, which is always fantastic. 100% acrylic. It's a light 3-weight and recommends an H5 millimeter hook. I used an I 5.5 millimeter hook, and yes, that's the color Giant. And this is what it looks like up close. This cake looks very different than the one I used. The one I used, if you can tell, has a lot more yellow in it, versus this one doesn't seem like it has that much yellow in it. But I really enjoyed working on this project. Sorry, please excuse my big hair. I just washed my hair. I really enjoyed working on this project. It is so, I'm wearing it on top of something and it still feels lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy at all, which is good. It's a number 3, as it should feel. I can tell you how I constructed this garment. So the hexagon cardigan is making 2 hexagons that are these 2 panels. So I made both of them different. So I tried to start them off with the yellow, which I accomplished, but then they changed colors very differently. So a hexagon has 6 sides. You have to make sure you have 6 sides, okay? That's a tip for the beginning of your hexagon cardigan. Once those were made, then I crocheted the top to close the sleeve. So in the first few that I made, I actually just kind of slip stitched them with the needle and the yarn. But then here I crocheted it. I wanted it to be more sturdy, so I crocheted it. So I did that on both sides, and the reason why it's yellow is because I only had yellow left at the end, which is fine. I don't mind that. What else did I do? So I made those 2 panels, and then here at the back, if you can see, I have made approximately 4 rows on either side, and then I joined in the back. Okay. Oops, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. So I made 4 rows on each side and then joined it together. And then as well, on the bottom, after I was done my hexagon, I added about 11 rows of just the granny cluster stitch going all the way around on both sides. So the bottom actually kind of matches. I mean, I say matches, like the bottom kind of flows better because that was all done in one color. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my pants so that I can stand up here and show you. So, sorry. So yeah, so the bottom part is all, this is 11 rows that I made here. And I'm actually wearing like this top that I could have made this even longer, I feel. But it is fitting me. So I would say this is like a large to maybe an extra large, at least a large. And then I wanted to make a trim. So I just made a row of single crochet all the way along here. and all the way along the bottom, and then I made a row of double crochets, which just made this nice trim. And then I did the same on the sleeves as well. I wanted to do like cuffs or something like more fancy, but I just kind of was done with the project and wanted to work on other projects, so I just stopped with this one row of single crochet and double crochet, and I think it looks nice. I think it gives like a good finishing touch. I would definitely recommend this yarn, Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle, or just any regular Lion Brand Mandala yarn is so beautiful. It's one of my all-time favorite yarns, especially for a color changing yarn. And I didn't mind at all that the cardigan is not, how do you say, matching on both sides. I didn't care about that at all, nor does the back match, which is fine because it's just supposed to be for fun, you know? There's nothing serious. It's crocheting, and I did this one for fun. I did this for myself, so it's colorful, and that was the main thing that I wanted. I wanted something, I mean, I've had this yarn and I wanted it to be something happy and something really fun. So you can see the yarn up close. It's a DK weight, number 3. And it works beautifully. It is so soft, and I don't have any trouble with frogging. I don't have any trouble with knots, nothing at all. This bonus bundle is amazing. So now I have the second one. I have this one left, and I'm not sure what I'll make of it, but I'm going to keep it carefully. Sorry about that noise. I'm going to keep it carefully, and it'll go back into my yarn closet, and that is where it will live until I figure out what other project I want to make with the Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle in the color Giant. But overall, I would say I think I'm done with hexagon cardigans for now. I want to make other things now. I really want to make another wearable, actually 2 wearables. So I am making a rectangular scarf. Why am I calling it scarf? Kind of like a scarf, kind of like a shawl. I think, yeah, a rectangular shawl for myself. And I'm using the new yarn that I bought from Joann's, the carousel yarn in the color pomegranate. So I have 8 skeins of that, and I've just made a start. So I'm actually doing that as a corner to corner shawl. The colors are beautiful. I mean, I was worried that all the colors wouldn't match. Like, it looked like from the outside of the balls that all the colors were different, but it's happening like that because the color keeps changing. So as I'm going across on my rows on the corner to corner, the color keeps changing. I will show it to you. I just want to make some more progress on it, and then I will definitely share that. So that is one wearable I'm making for myself, is that shawl. And then the other, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, so that's one wearable. The other one is a cocoon shrug. So I saw a really cool pattern for a cocoon shrug, and I am going to be using Red Heart Unforgettable for that. Either in the color Red Sea or Heirloom. I haven't decided yet. I have both of those yarns. I think I have about 9 balls of each. So that is the next wearable I want to make. So I'm trying to just do like one wearable at a time. But the thing with the cocoon shrug is that it's just one giant granny square. And then you kind of do like make the sleeves and attach it in different ways to make it look like a shrug. So I might just start that because I feel like that'll be a good like mindless project that I can just pick up and work on. What else? So this week I'm also working on, I have a triangle shawl I'm working on in the moss stitch. I have that shawl I just mentioned, the corner to corner shawl with the carousel yarn from Joann. I have a jelly bean blanket, which I have started, but I have not been working on. That requires a little bit more focus. I can't just pick it up and keep going because I don't want to mess up the ends again. I realized the first time I made that pattern, I really messed up the sides and it's not even at all. I'm not even sure if I'm going to share it on the channel because It's beautiful, but the sides are horrendous, and I'm not going to frog it. Definitely not frogging it, but I don't know if I'm ready to share that. So yeah, there's a jelly bean blanket that's kind of in my whip pile. And then what else do I have? I have a couple of my whips from before. So I did finish 2 of my whips, one of which I'm going to show you today, and one which I'm going to show you later because it's not completely, I haven't woven in the ends and things. So let me show you the whip I did finish. I want to show you 2 projects right now, aside from this one, 2 more projects. So, oh yeah, I also spent some time, as I mentioned, and I don't know if I showed you a picture of my yarn closet. Anyways, if I can find my pictures, I'll pop it up here. Oh yeah, I did share it in the community as a community post, but not in a video. So at the bottom of my closet, I've now made scrap yarn bags. So I have 3 bags, one for DK or number 3 weights, one for worsted weights, number 4, and one for bulky 5s and 6s. So I have 3 different scrap projects going on, and I was kind of like, I finished a project and I didn't know what I wanted to do next, so I just picked up that bag and I worked on a couple rows. I picked out the bulky weight bag and I worked a couple rows and used up some of the yarn and just added it to that project that I was making, and then I put it back. It felt really good. So I also realized I had some worsted weight scraps in a different bag. I found in my cotton yarn bag. So those worsted weight scraps I put in the worsted weight bag, and now I have a lot of stuff in the worsted weight bag. So the next time I kind of have a lull and I'm in between projects, I need to pick that up and start working on it. That one is a granny square, just a continuous granny square. I don't know why I said continuous. Yeah, just a big granny square. So I need to work on that. Anyways, I'm going to share with you the 2 whips that I finished. The first one, I feel like I might have shared at some point when it was in the very, very early stages. Maybe not in a video though. Maybe not in a video. Okay. A few months ago, Joann's was having sale on their Line Brand Mandela yarn cakes. And I took advantage of that sale and bought up a whole bunch of different colors, this included. But this one is just a regular cake, and this is the color Cupid, and I made a moss stitch shawl. So let me open that up here. You can see that. This is the color Cupid. So it starts off with it looks like it's white, but it actually has some pink in it. And then this shade of pink, the camera is totally messing it up. And then other shades of pink, and then going into red and almost a maroon color. Let me see if I can, yeah, there you go. You can see the colors better now. So this is just moss stitch, a triangle moss stitch shawl. And it was very, very fun to work up. As I mentioned, I love this yarn. I love Lion Brand Mandala yarn. This is one entire cake. I'm trying to think if there was anything left over. I don't think so, because you can kind of see that I put the last color there on the end. So I don't think there was anything left over. I think I literally used the entire cake. So I'll just show you. I don't know why it's flopping over, but it's my entire wingspan. It's pretty big and it's flopping over, of course, but it's a very beautiful shawl. Let me see if I can take off my cardigan, put on the shawl so I can show you what it looks like. Okay. It's very, very nice, and it's a good size. You can see it better. It's still flopping over. I don't know what's happening. I haven't had this happen with the other shawls that I showed you last week. Yeah, it's really pretty. Remember, I'm becoming a shawl model. Okay, so I really loved working on this project. I love the moss stitch. Okay, I cannot say enough about the moss stitch. The moss stitch may look complicated. It is not. Moss stitch is just single crochet, chain one, single crochet, all the way to the corner. Then you do single crochet, chain two, single crochet, and then back, single crochet, chain one, single crochet. And basically when you come around again, you're going to be making the single crochet in the chain one spaces of the round below. There are patterns for moss stitch triangle shawls, moss stitch scarves, moss stitch triangle scarves on YouTube. So just search for one and you will be able to find it. I have made this, I'm making this for a second time now. I'm actually using a little bit of a different pattern. So the ends are a bit different, but it gives you the exact same effect. So that's what it looks like up close. It's very, very pretty. So that is my moss stitch triangle shawl that I will be holding on to until I find a home for it. It's a really, really fun stitch. It's like it's very relaxing, I have to say. It's like one of the most relaxing stitches. Probably after making a granny stitch, like a granny cluster, this I find is very relaxing. And I finished this one and I'm making another one. So this is the color Cupid. And the other one that I'm making is also mandala yarn. I think that's called Mandala Baby. And that is the color Arendelle, like from Frozen, Arendelle, Arendelle. In case you haven't watched Crystal's video over at Bag O' Day Crochet, she found that Lion Brand Mandala is coming out with a whole bunch of new colors. So I think there were a couple in the bonus bundle that have new colors, and then in the regular mandala, there's some new colors coming. So they were on Joanne's website, but it doesn't have it in stock at store or to ship. So we'll just have to keep checking back on that. As of the recording of this video, it's not available, but it might be available soon. So I did realize, I went to Joanne's and I was standing at the mandala shelf and I was like, why does it look like sparse now? It looks like there's hardly anything there. Before it used to be like completely jam-packed and like stuffed to the brim, and now those 2 shelves or 3 shelves that they made for the mandala yarn look like it's just getting less and less. So I'm not sure if they're going to have any sales on the current existing colors to make some room for the new colors, because they will need some space for that. If they again put the mandala yarn on sale for $4.99, guess who is going to be buying some? Yeah, I will be buying some more. The only thing I realized with mandala, so I've used it a couple times this year. I used it to make a baby blanket in the color Troll. That has purples, blues, and like a lime green. That colorway, I had 2 cakes of it and it was spun the exact same way. So I held 2 together and I made this really beautiful blanket that was just, it was like corner to corner, and I mixed other yarns in too. But the part that was Lion Brand Mandala, that part, it felt like squishy. It felt so soft and squishy and just, it was really lovely. So in the future, when I'm in the store, if I'm in the store buying mandala yarn, I'm going to look at it and make sure I'm getting ones that are wound exactly the same way so that I could hold 2 together, because that makes the project go much faster and it makes a bulkier, thicker fabric, which I enjoyed in that project. For something like this, I wouldn't recommend holding 2 together because it's a shawl. You want it to be lightweight. So this is just fine for the cakes that are, I just have 1 color of, and that's why I started this, because I just had 1 of these. So I made this scarf. Okay, the next project I want to show you is also a moss stitch project, and it seems I have not woven in my ends. Let me just see if I can cut off some of the excess here. So yeah, I had shown you in my earlier video that I bought some new scissors. These are not them, but they are really, really good. They're just like embroidery scissors that I purchased from Walmart, and they work so well. They are so sharp and so exact, and I really like it. Okay, sorry. Just I left a huge tail, like huge, huge, huge tail. Okay. This next project is moss stitch in the round. So it's a square. Let me just hold it up so you can see it up close, and I will open it up. There it is. And you may or may not have seen this. So I have shared glimpses of this project. I shared a picture of this part. I got to work on this when I was visiting the lake last week. I sat down and crocheted by the lake, and I was working on this part, and it came out so beautifully in the sun. So this is Karen Blossom Cakes, and this is Karen Blossom Cakes. I actually kept the label. And then the white is this Cascade Yarns Cantata Cotton and Merino Wool blend. And this is the rest of it. The other two colors are Karen Blossom Cakes. One of them is the color Passion Fruit, and the other one, I have no idea what the color is. So the good thing about this blanket is that the Karen Blossom Cakes part is machine washable and dryable. The bad part is that the other yarn is a cotton wool mix. So I don't know. I have no idea. Can you wash wool in the machine? I don't think so. I made this thinking baby blanket because I always make baby blankets. I always call them baby blankets. It does not need to be so. It can be any sort of blanket. So this is what it looks like. Oh my God, sorry. I just tipped my phone. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So it has this beautiful color in the middle, then it has the white, then it has the passion fruit on the end. And again, this is the moss stitch in a square. So it's the exact same as the shawl I just showed you, except this is being made in a square. I feel like I love this effect. Like I just absolutely love how it looks like, how it looks. And this passion fruit colors were just so beautiful, like oranges and pinks and almost reddish colors. So I really, really loved working on this. I think I might start. So I do have a granny square that I'm making with my scrap yarn out of my worsted weights. But I'm now thinking that I enjoyed working on this so much that maybe I should make a scrap moss stitch blanket, because I would really love that. It feels way more meditative to me than just doing a granny cluster. I don't know why. Granny clusters are like making double crochets. This is just making single crochet. So this is like a shorter stitch. This will take longer, but for some reason I love that repetitive motion. The only thing I realized is that with the granny cluster, you can actually do it without looking at the work. So I've taken it out with me when my kids have classes, and I've sat there and just watched them and done my crocheting, because I can feel where the next gap is for the granny cluster. For this, can't do it. Someone asked me if they could make this pattern with Karen Cloud Cakes. I am not sure. I've never used a Karen Cloud Cake. Out of the Karen cakes, I think I've used Karen Baby Cakes and Karen Blossom Cakes and Cinnamon Swirl Cakes. That's all I've used. So I'm not sure about the other ones. This just gives really good stitch definition. This one is actually chain spun, and it has kind of this like heathered look to it. I don't know if you can tell that on the camera, but I really, really enjoyed working with these yarns, even the wool yarn, because it's a cotton wool blend. It's very soft, and I was actually gifted this, so that's why I have this cotton wool blend. I don't buy hanks of yarn for myself, but I was gifted it. So yes, I am very happy with these projects, and of course with the cardigan that I showed you, which I now took off. I forgot to put it back on. But I'm very happy with these 3 projects that I made, and I will have another whip to show you soon, and sorry, not whip, another finished object to show you soon. I'm not telling you what it is. You have to come back and watch the next video, okay? I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to share it with you once I've woven in the ends. What else? So yeah, if you saw my community post, I am making a baby blanket in a color called Soft Orchid or Pale Orchid. It's a Bernat Softy baby yarn, and that is a custom order I'm making. So I've been busy doing that. It's slow. I'm using a pattern from Daisy Farm Crafts. I think it's called the Berry Blossom pattern, Berry Blossom Blanket. It's a really beautiful stitch. It just requires attention and I keep checking my work. I keep flipping it over to make sure the blossoms are being made, the berry stitches are being made nicely, because I don't want any oopsies. I cannot rip that out, and I've had to rip out a little bit because this morning I was making it and it's just like, what do you call it? The way when your hands move and that motion, and you just are so used to making double crochets that you forget how to make the berry stitch. And so I had to rip out a little bit, like very little, but I fixed it. I caught it in time. So now as I'm working through the row, I keep flipping over my work and checking to make sure all the berry stitches are correct. I'm making that a baby, I don't know if it was stroller size, or basically I'm making it 36 by 36 inches. So I measure 36 inches across, and then now I'm working 36 inches up. It's going to be a square, and I am like that far in. So it's a lengthy project, but I'm very excited to work on it, but it needs dedicated time. I cannot wing it. I cannot work on that with other projects or with other things happening. I have to sit down and focus and dedicate time. So I'm trying to find that time, hopefully during the daytime while I have some peace and quiet before I have to be in mom mode. I know a lot of you have been commenting about being in mom mode and how crochet relaxes you, and that's totally it. Even on days that I'm with my family in the day, I need my crochet time. So I also made 2 what do you call them, dishcloths. So I pulled out in the bin underneath this, I had a pink Vera Bradley bag full of cotton yarn. This is just cotton yarn that I've bought over the years. I did use some of that cotton yarn to make my daughter a cardigan, 2 cardigans. That was Premier Hipster cotton. But then I also bought Premier Hipster cotton in 2 other colors. I had 4 balls, so I made some dishcloths for my own kitchen. And then I also had I want to say some Hobby Lobby brand. It was like a chunky yellow color cotton. So I also made dishcloth out of that. But I just found out that a place near me takes donations of soap sacks. So I actually emailed them, and I'm just trying to find out if there's anything that would be more useful than soap sacks for them. So if you have any ideas what I can do with cotton yarn, I do not have a ton of cotton yarn, but I have enough that I could make, I don't know, like 20 to 30 items. Not in the hundreds, but I just want it to go to good use. So either I can just like make a bunch of dishcloths, which is fine with me, or if there's another item you can think of that's cotton that would be good to donate. I'm waiting to hear back if there's anything else they need. So yeah, I don't want to buy any more cotton. I'm just trying to use what I have. Most of the cotton I have is quite soft, except for one of them, which is maybe Lily Sugar and Cream. I'm not sure. It's like a peach color. But anyways, I did use that cotton yarn to make some placemats for myself, like the hot pads, which I put when we're serving hot food on the table. So those come in handy for me. But if you have any other ideas, I'm open to your suggestions. Anyhow, I will stop today's video here. If you haven't already, like this video and definitely subscribe. Lots more yarny goodness coming on this channel. I'm going to be sharing more of my whips, more of my finished objects. And I hope you're enjoying the whip and yarn chats. Those are really fun for me. I get to just like unplug, unscripted, just crochet and talk to all of you. And I really love doing that. So that's something I'm going to continue doing weekly. And so far I've been releasing those videos on Mondays. So check that out if you haven't already. I've done it for about the last 4 weeks. So there's 4 of those videos. And those are kind of on the longer side, but I just feel like that's really precious crochet time for me and hopefully for you as well. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon.